Well, hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. My name is Matt Nelson. I'm a fellow and apologist with the Word on Fire Institute, and I'm really excited to be a part of this conference. Let me start by saying thank you to Catholic Voices and Smart Catholics for extending the invitation to be a part of this. And I got to say, I just think that this theme is very important, this idea of sharing the church's story. And I hope that over the next few minutes, I'll be able to help you in your own lives share the church's story as evangelical Catholics. This idea of reaching the indifferent, which is what I'm going to be talking about today, is a really important issue. Now, most of you have probably encountered the indifferent in your own lives. People who don't take seriously the claims that we make as Christians, that don't take seriously perhaps the claims that any so-called organized religions make about what's true, good, and what is truly beautiful. Well, I'm hoping again today that by the end of this short talk that you'll have some tools in your tool belt that I've provided you with that you'll be able to take out into the workplace, into your home, wherever you find people who today are indifferent to Catholicism, indifferent perhaps just to religion in general, and be able to move them in intellect and in will to consider seriously what we claim Jesus Christ has done for the whole world. And so let me first start by saying that the topic is important because we all know people who are indifferent to the Christian faith. But we can also verify this by looking at many of the studies that have come out over the last 10 or so years from high-profile research organizations like the Pew Research Center, for example, which shows that in North America and in Europe, there's this growing denomination, so-called, of the unaffiliated, people who identify with no religion whatsoever. And so we see even in the scientific data that this is a real problem on all of the continents. And so this is a very relevant thing for all of us to be thinking about and to be considering as we think about how we as evangelists go out and share the good news, share the Christian gospel. This topic's important to me too because though I grew up in a good Catholic home, like so many today, when I went to university, I fell away from the faith and myself became indifferent to religion in general, and I guess you could say in a certain way, especially Catholicism. Well, eventually, obviously, I did come back to the faith and was moved out of that indifference. And so over the last few years, this has been something that I've thought a lot about, and I've written a lot about it, and I've had a chance both in more formal settings like this and many times in informal settings with my brothers and sisters in Christ, and in those who themselves are indifferent to the faith. I've had a chance to discuss with all these different people this issue, and I think I've got a few things I can offer you today that will help you in your duty